Greetings and welcome to News MTV. My name is Paida Shamandwengere, giving you the news bulletin. In the headlines, Rights Group calls for law allowing citizens to sue army. Fresh twist to Chief Chivero assault. In the courts, state withdraws charges against Port Trust Director General Gift Machengete. In business, Zimbabwe not ready to join African Continental Free Trade Area due to policy discord. In sport, Warriors blow as midfielder is ruled out of AFCON. And now for the news in greater detail. The Zimbabwe Human Rights NGO Forum has called for the establishment of a legal framework allowing citizens to sue the country's state security agencies for killings by operatives. In its latest anti-impunity report launched on Tuesday, the forum said while many Zimbabweans have been killed by state agents over the years, relatives of the deceased have failed to sue for compensation because the remedy is not recognized in Zimbabwe. The call comes in the wake of two incidences in which at least 23 people lost their lives between August last year and January this year. In August last year, President Emmerson Mnangagwa deployed the army which used live ammunition and killed 6 protesters. The president was to deploy the army again in January this year to quell protests, and 17 people were gunned down while dozens were left nursing wounds. Chief Chivero, who claims to have been assaulted by a Chinese national on Monday, now stands accused of demanding a bribe. Chivero, according to the towel-making company's owner, William Lung, has demanded $16,000 from the company, reportedly as a token for operating in his jurisdiction.
He asked me for money, and then $16,000.
Chivero reported a case of assault at Norton Police on Monday after an altercation in which he was reportedly left with a sprained arm, a claim that the Chinese are denying. However, independent Norton MP Themba Mliswa has leaped to the traditional leader's defense.
The Chinese have been assaulting Zimbabweans left, right and center, and unfortunately our government has got to take into consideration the levels and the violent Chinese who are coming in. The matter is before the courts now. I'm told he was arrested. So let us hear the verdict. Why would the chief lie that he has been beaten up? Or he's the chief of the area, why would the chief lie? But what we know is that the Chinese have been beating up Zimbabweans. Even at the parliamentary building where His Excellency went to, I hear there were reports that the Chinese were not treating Zimbabweans well. They have a culture of ill-treating Zimbabweans.
On Monday, Mliswa told NewZimbabwe.com's current affairs program, The Agenda, that she would organize protests if the Chinese national was not deported. As the situation continues to deteriorate, bread has disappeared from the shelves and when available now selling for around $7 RTGS. In the 4 key cities of Harare, Bulawayo, Mutare and Gweru, there is little or no sign of popular bread brands that make up 90% of the market. Last week, leading bread maker Lobos told Industry and Commerce Minister Mangaliso Ndlovu that it had resolved to suspend some of its operations because of wheat shortages. Millers have indicated they need $12.5 million from the government to import wheat and to avert a desperate situation. Meanwhile, the Grain Millers Association of Zimbabwe, in a statement, announced the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe had released $7 million for the procurement of 19,000 metric tons of wheat stuck in bonded warehouses at the Mozambican port of Beira. The association's chairperson, Tafadzwa Msarara, said the 19,000 metric tons of wheat will cover the national flour requirements for the next 2.5 weeks, but is only expected to arrive in the country next week. According to Msarara, another consignment of 60,000 metric tons of wheat is still in Mozambique, and consultations with the central bank were underway to find money to pay. President Emmerson Mnangagwa has called for unity among Africans to help each other develop and modernize. Mnangagwa called for Africa to present itself as an economic bloc and leverage its 1 billion population. The Zimbabwean leader was speaking at a panel discussion in the Mozambican capital of Maputo at the ongoing US-Africa Summit. Mnangagwa was also expected to meet US Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs Tibor Nagy on the sidelines of the summit late Wednesday. In the courts, Postal and Telecommunications Authority's Director General, Gift Machengete, has walked out of court a free man after the state withdrew charges before plea. Machengete was facing charges of violating procurement procedures arising from the purchase of container village information centers. He was arrested on arrival in Harare after undergoing an operation in South Africa. The National Prosecuting Authority, represented by Michael Reza, did not provide reasons for the withdrawal. In business, the private sector in Zimbabwe has admitted that local manufacturers are not yet ready to join the African Continental Free Trade Area due to serious economic challenges and policy inconsistencies. Speaking at the National Forum on the African Continental Free Trade Area Wednesday, former president of the Confederation of Zimbabwe Industries, Sivelani Javangwe, said the country's manufacturers had been sidelined and facing a number of limitations to fully embrace the initiative. Javangwe called on government to implement the partnership agreement signed with the European Union. We're taking a short break. Please stay tuned.
Many people have been asking me how did I manage it, because they could see that everything was there, everything was just happening, things were being paid. So I've told people that it was through Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan. So I would advise everyone to join this Diaspora Funeral Cash Plan. Their policy is good because it took all the weight off my shoulders.
And finally, in sport, Zimbabwe Warriors midfielder Tafadzwa Coutinho has been ruled out of the Africa Cup of Nations finals after suffering a muscle strain. The 25-year-old former Azam FC player was expected to provide options in the midfield for the Warriors, but that will not be the case. Team manager Wellington Mupandare reportedly said the team coaches are now working to find a replacement. The Warriors will take on host Egypt in the tournament opener on Friday in Cairo. Now the headlines once more. Rights group calls for law allowing citizens to sue army. Fresh twist to Chief Chivero assault. In the courts, state withdraws charges against Potra's Director General Gift Machengete. In business, Zimbabwe not ready to join African Continental Free Trade Area due to policy discord. In sport, Warriors blow as midfielder is ruled out of AFCON. Reporting for NewZimbabwe.com, my name is Paidashi Mandivengerei. For these and more stories, please do visit our website, that is www.newzimbabwe.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is NewZim TV, and for live updates, follow our Twitter page, that is NewZimbabwe.com.